Welcome to On This Day in Grateful Dead History. So you dug up a great review for us from GratefulDeadBook.com.
Yeah, that's right. It covers May 23rd, 1972, the Grateful Dead at the Lyceum in London.
Okay, first night of that final four-show run on the Europe 72 tour.
Exactly. And, you know, a lot of people focus on the final show of that run, but this review really makes the case that night one was something special too.
Right, because the playing across that whole tour was just stellar, wasn't it?
Oh, absolutely. The reviewer basically says every song was flawless, so when they point out highlights, it's like extra moments of fire or emotion.
Gotcha. So our plan today is to pull out those key moments from the review, give you a real feel for this specific show, without needing the hours to listen right now.
Sounds good. And just a reminder, if you do want to explore the other nights from this week, the bio has that link to This Week in Grateful Dead History with all the listening guides.
Perfect. Okay, so diving into the review, where did the highlights start? First set?
Yeah, right away, apparently. The first set came out swinging, sugary, black-throated wind.
Okay.
And then that classic China Cat Sunflower transition into I Know You Rider. The review mentioned extra emotion there, real energy.
Interesting. What about was fueling that right at the start? Maybe just kicking off the final London shows.
Could be. Then there's a bit of a surprise.
Oh, yeah?
Rockin' Pneumonia popped up.
No kidding. That's pretty rare.
Yeah, came after a short but worthwhile Sitting on Top of the World, according to the review. Always fun when they throw those in.
Definitely. And then Pigpen had a big moment.
Huge. Two Souls in Communion. The review calls it deeply affecting, maybe one of his absolute best of the whole tour.
Wow. What made it stand out?
The pacing, apparently, and just this really raw feeling in his voice. Jerry's solo was described as, emotionally direct, too.
Nice. Though the backing vocals maybe wavered a bit at the end.
Yeah, a slight mention of that, but the core performance was powerful, and the energy kept up with good lovin'.
How was that one described?
Concise and energetic. Interestingly, no Pigpen rap on this version, just straight up energy.
Okay, tight and focused. And how did they close that first set?
With Casey Jones.
Wow.
The reviewer thought it was one of the strongest versions of the tour. Really built the intensity towards this thrilling, precise ending.
Sounds like a killer first set. What about the second? The review mentioned an odyssey.
Yes, a true odyssey centered around Dark Star. A really breathtaking one, it sounds like.
How so? What did they say?
It balanced, really intense jams with these quiet, almost tranquil parts. Something you could listen to again and again and find new things.
And that thing about the first verse.
Right. It didn't even show up until 17 minutes in, after some really powerful Phil Lesh playing apparently drove that section.
17 minutes.
Oh, wow.
That's deep jamming.
Totally. And then coming out of that, a Dark Star jam, it got pretty chaotic. Lots of feedback.
Okay. Heading towards
Morning Dew. But the transition was described as feeling both completely unexpected, yet somehow totally natural and really moving.
That sounds amazing. That kind of intense, unexpected flow.
Exactly. Classic Dead moment. But even after all that intensity from Dark Star and Morning Dew, they didn't let up.
Still had energy left.
Oh, yeah. They launched into this really celebratory sequence, going down the road feeling bad.
And to not fade away.
Right. And then Jerry apparently just slips this really spirited Hey Bo Diddley section inside the Not Fade Away jam before coming back.
Oh, love when he did that.
Yeah.
Just seamless fun.
Totally. And then to wrap it all up,
how did they end the night?
Uncle John's Band. The review described it as just warm, exquisite, left everyone feeling good.
So yeah, even just pulling these moments from the review, you really get the sense this wasn't just another great Europe 72 show. It had its own specific peaks.
Yeah.
High energy, lots of emotion, even on night one of the final run.
Absolutely. The reviewer really painted a picture of moments that stood out even against that incredibly high bar the band set that whole tour.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? How many other shows are out there in the vaults, maybe not the most famous ones, but just full of these unique, hidden moments of magic waiting to be rediscovered?